Hi, towards the end of the relationship, sometimes all we can see is what is bad. That's so our focus. What's bad? What's wrong? What can we not take anymore? What can we not deal with? But then sometimes it's like the second the relationship ends, all we can see is what was good. And we begin to kind of romanticize that person or even turn that person into a hero. And the problem is it's pretty hard or sometimes impossible to let go of a hero. Who could let go of a hero? So today is all about learning how to look at what was bad, and next time we're going to take a look at what was good. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can work through it, overcome it, and ultimately move on with your life. Okay, so today is all about getting more of a holistic picture, because if you are recently broken up, you might still be in that honeymoon phase of only being able to see what was good. And we want to have a realistic picture of the totality of the relationship. We want to be able to really look at all that was good and really look at all that was bad. So as always, this isn't therapy. If at any point it's too hard, just turn the video off, take a break. If it's too overwhelming, then you may want to seek help in your area from a local professional so you can get some more help. But if you feel like you're in a good place, feel free to keep going. So today is a writing exercise, and I'm going to give you some prompts. All of this comes from I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts. You can find it on Amazon. There's also a full course over the entire book that you can get on my website. I will leave a link. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. Leave a link in the description below. Okay, so let's just dive into some of these prompts. So we said there was probably good and there was probably some bad in the relationship. And we struggle the most when we get blinders on and try to deny the existence of the other. So if we're in like focusing on the bad, we try to deny the existence of the good. If all we can see is the good, we tend to downplay, minimize, or ignore what was bad. So remember, we want to take this holistic approach so that we can really heal and move forward. Okay, so here are some writing prompts. This is going to help you to kind of dig out and really look at, put on the table what some of your experiences were and what might still be in you so that you can have a fair look at them, categorize them, catalog them, put them where they need to go, and that's going to help you in the journey of moving on. Okay, so here's a prompt, and if a prompt doesn't apply to you, you just skip it. But if it applies, then you want to write as much as you can about that prompt. So this isn't something that's going to take months and months. If it takes months and months, you might want to seek help, but it's something that's going to take a little bit more maybe than just a second. So you really want to, anything that's attached to this writing prompt that's in here or here, you want to try and pull that out, put it on the table so you can look at it, file away, and move on with your life. Okay, here's the first one. I was not heard. And this is where you will want to pause the video, write as much as you can, or maybe you want to take down the prompt so that you can do this as you do your grief work. This is also something that could be part of the grief work. I will leave a link to the playlist of videos, and you can go back and learn more about grief work and how to set time aside to do grief work. But this is actually the grief work exercise. So this is something you would do during your grief work time. Okay, next prompt. Well, let me talk about I was not heard. So this would be all the ways that you did not feel you were heard. This would be things that you said over and over and over again, things that never changed, or a person just kept doing these things no matter how many times you tried to explain it or discuss it, things that you wanted, that you constantly asked for that never happened, right? This is you describing all the ways that you felt you were not heard. Okay, the second one is I was not seen. So ways that you felt like you weren't seen. Maybe you feel like you were really good at cooking. Maybe you're really good at cooking and this person just never acknowledged it. Or maybe you're athletic and they just flat out refuse to see you as an athlete. Maybe you're really good at whatever it is you're good at and they just never really saw you for it. And so you always kind of felt diluted or dismissed or downplayed. So any ways that you felt you were not seen, that's what you want to write down. Maybe you feel like your pain was never seen. They never saw what you were going through. Next one, I was not respected. So for sure, if you're not feeling seen, if you're not feeling heard, you're probably not feeling respected. So if someone's not respecting you, they're not respecting your no, they're not respecting your wishes, they're not respecting any boundaries that you're setting with either them or the people in your lives. So if you're saying something like, I don't want this person in our house, they make me feel uncomfortable, and then you come home from work and that they've invited them over, that would be not respecting you. They're not respecting your no or your boundaries. Next one, I was called names. Because remember, right now, we are only looking at what is bad, and eventually we'll get to the place where we're only looking at what is good. And so we have lists of both, and we've written out both, and we're taking a hard look at both because both do exist. So I was called names. If this applies to you, then list names that you were called. And I would also probably write about the way, how it made me feel. So I would list the name and also, how did this make me feel? What was that like? Was it dehumanizing? Was it embarrassing? Was it shameful? Was it aggravating? Was it frustrating? Whatever you felt for having been called that name, infuriating, then go ahead and write about that too. Another one, I was lied to. So this is where any lies that you have identified, that you've been mindful of, you would just want to write those out. Any lies that pop up, go ahead and jot it down and get it on your piece of paper. Next one, I was cheated on. If you were cheated on, you can write about that. Whatever form or fashion and whatever regard that looks like for you. You could write about how it made you feel, how you caught that person, how the lies they told surrounding the cheating and what that felt being drug along. And then the day you realize anything related to cheating, just get it out. Remember, we want to just take it out of here and here and put it on the table so we can look at it as someone who's sitting on the other side of this experience instead of someone who's still in that experience. Let's see, another one. I was manipulated. So any ways that you were manipulated, this is where someone's telling you yes, but they mean no. Someone's planning something with you, but they have no intention of doing it. Or someone is doing something in an effort to get you to do something. And there's some deception in there somewhere. So any way that you were manipulated, you could have even been manipulated into walking away from your family, or manipulated into walking away from your savings, or manipulated into leaving a job you loved. However you were manipulated. Sometimes some people will keep someone in your life for their benefit, even though it's a detriment to you. And a lot of manipulation goes into making that happen. So any way you can identify that you were manipulated, feel free to write about that. Another one, I was not shown love. How were you not shown love? How do you feel you were not shown love? And you're just going to write as much about that experience as you can. So this is a portion of a list that is found on page 12 and 13. Looks like it ends at 13. And again, you can find it. It's on sale now on Amazon.com. You can get the full list. You can also take the course. The link will be in the description. It's also on sale. Right now, I hope that you take a moment, kind of ground yourself, take a look around your surroundings, look at your walls, look at your windows, look at your doors, feel your fingers, you can feel your hair, feel your hands rub together, right? Doing things like this, breathing in with your eyes open and really exhaling, doing that like 3 good times, really just kind of come back to, okay, I did experience that, but I am here right now. Yes, I experienced that, but I am here right now. So kind of come back to this moment and really ground yourself. Take a moment. Remember, comfort. There's a whole video on comfort, right? So a warm cup in your hand, asking someone to give you a hug if you have someone, going outside and looking at the sky, looking up at the trees in the sky, taking deep breaths while you keep your eyes wide open. All of these things can be a comfort. A warm blanket wrapped around you can be very comforting. So do what works for you. Make sure you take really good care of yourself as you're healing and going through this breakup. Again, if you're going through a breakup, I am sorry. It is so incredibly painful. No one likes this type of pain or this process, but I trust that you will find your way and you will get through it. So until I see you in the next one, take good care and I'll see you then.